healthcare delivery services, and particularly give religions an opportunity
Right
to
check.
significantly correct in the health sector, and that is critical for us. So it's to expand access to quality care for all religions and to strengthen the national healthcare system for present and future generations. We are under no illusion that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for the next 25 to 50 years. If you don't catch it now, we are going to struggle to catch it. And I've said, we are behind the eight ball, so to speak, behind by at least 15 years. So, training for those who care for us. Now, I can stand here and tell you all the initiatives the government has already been embarking upon. The initiatives. The quality improvement project with Mount Sinai is just one aspect of this. But so that you understand, we are putting our money where our mouth is. We have negotiated, as of January of this year, with St. George's University, 30 medical scholarships for Canadians to pursue studies as doctors.
Sounds a good afternoon to you right here as we bring you a town hall meeting here at Mega Events College with the Prime Minister of Grenada. Started. It's a filled room here, so I'll just show a little bit of what it is.
We have just agreed to grant scholarships to 5 Canadian doctors to go to Guyana and Jamaica to pursue specialist training. Now, this is something that generally never happens. We have been engaging in several bond referrals to allow Canadian doctors to pursue specialist training to ensure that we can have the specialist skills that we need to get us what we need. This is a long-term initiative. We are reviewing our scholarship program in general to target the healthcare sector so that more and more of the scholarships go towards persons in the healthcare sector. We're also reviewing how we incentivize our Canadian medical professionals to remain and to come back as part of this training exercise. So we recognize that we need to address this. There are ongoing efforts to regularize the healthcare, and I'm using the word regularize here because when we went into government, the public service had significant inconsistencies in terms of the way in which persons are employed, the modalities of employment. And thousands of them were working on one-year contracts, which expires and then has to be renewed. In many instances, the mechanism for renewing them simply did not exist. So it will expire and you'll be limbo. You can't go to a bank, you can't really say to someone, I'm actually a doctor employed with the government. We are seeking to address all of this so that the doctors know that they have indefinite employment, the nurses know they have definite employment, the nursing assistants, etc., the orderlies, support staff understand that. So we are working on all of those issues. We are currently, based on the quality improvement program that has come out, intend to hire an interim CEO for the hospital. We have hired a facilities manager that is already making significant impact in terms of the way in which the facilities are maintained. We are retaining, I think, by June or September, HR specialists, again from the diaspora, to begin to help us address some of the HR issues that the hospital staff is currently facing. So, while there's a lot of talk about particulars, I want you to understand that enormous work is taking place now behind the scenes to address all the systemic challenges that we are facing. And like boiling water, it takes a while before you see water boil. Right? It has to sit in the kettle or the pot for quite a while, and a lot of energy has to go into getting it to the point where it is warm. So I want to emphasize a couple of things. We are clear that healthcare is a public service and must remain a public service. When we talk about statutorization, there are mischief makers who always want to talk about privatizing healthcare, yada yada yada. The reality is, we are not doing so, but we also recognize that healthcare has to be financed. And a model that simply says it's only taxpayers' money is simply one that is not sustainable in our context. The system is being strengthened, not sold, and the idea here is to ensure that no religion gets left behind and that every religion has access to health. So the call to action for all of us, including you here in the diaspora this afternoon, is for us to stay informed, ask questions, engage in the process, contribute towards the process. It's why we're here, it's why we are sharing all of this with you. And just so that you're clear, there are members of the medical profession in the diaspora who are intimately involved with Project Polaris. For example, Dr. Tristan and Dr. Lisa Ranks, who were honored yesterday for their excellence in service to humanity and humanity. So we are not just improving healthcare, we are transforming so that every Canadian can live with dignity, security, and confidence in the care they receive. Thank you very much. And I will invite Ambassador Sylvain and the team to present on Project Polaris, and then we will enter into the question and answer segment. I hope you treat me like how you treated Ambassador once. Thank you very much.
There are moments in a nation's journey when small steps.
Good evening, everyone. I will stand on the protocols established and start by greeting everyone. Very warm greetings. It's very wonderful to see so many people here today. Thank you for joining us for this very important town hall and for an opportunity to learn a little bit more about Project Polaris. I'm very happy for the remarks from the Prime Minister to put some context to Project Polaris and really the overarching healthcare transformation that we've embarked on. This afternoon, this evening, pardon me, is not just about discussing the construction of a new hospital. It's about discussing the future of healthcare in Grenada and the broader transformation of our healthcare system for generations to come. Project Polaris is rooted in a simple but powerful belief that people in Grenada deserve access to world-class, resilient, modern healthcare at home in Grenada. While many of us will have said Project Polaris began a few years ago in 2023 when this administration secured the 83.9 acre site for the building of Project Polaris. But in fact, the truth is that this journey, it began decades ago through the lived experiences, challenges, aspirations, and healthcare needs of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. For many years, our people have dreamed of a healthcare system capable of delivering modern, high-quality care in an environment designed for the future. What distinguishes this moment is that this administration has had the courage, conviction, and determination to pursue a bold, ambitious, and transformational vision. Many believe that it will simply be too difficult and too large for a small island state to undertake. But today, that vision is no longer theoretical, and it is advancing. The government of Grenada has successfully secured the land required for the development of Project Polaris Medical City and the smart hospital campus. We've secured financing to support the project. We have assembled a globally respected group of partners with deep experience in healthcare, design, planning, legal structuring, implementation, and healthcare transformation. We're proud to be working alongside Mount Sinai International as our strategic health systems partner, with Perkins and Will as our lead architects. We have engaged the Beck Group as a key implementation and construction advisory partners. And we have White & Case as our international legal counsel. So again, a very strong team of experts working with us to pull together this project. We're also deeply grateful for the support of our colleagues in the diaspora. And the Prime Minister mentioned a few of the key members of the Grenada Diaspora Advisory Council, who have also been working very closely with us as we advance our plans and move towards implementation. And we want to again emphasize that Project Polaris is not just about a future hospital. It's about improving healthcare starting now. As we advance toward the delivery of the new smart hospital in Medical City, work is already underway with Mount Sinai to strengthen quality improvement initiatives, operational systems, infrastructure planning, and healthcare delivery across the existing healthcare network. And this includes a strong focus on integrating primary healthcare and community health services with secondary and tertiary care so that healthcare transformation reaches people throughout the country. We're also continuing to advance the hospital design process, operational planning, and procurement activities, while simultaneously preparing for early site and enabling works to support future construction activities. Project Polaris is therefore not simply a building project, it's a national transformation initiative centered on resilience, dignity, accessibility, innovation, and quality care. Today's discussion is an opportunity to continue engaging transparently with the Grenadian diaspora now, here in New York, and to give you the opportunity to answer your questions, and so that we can better share with you where we are, where the project stands, what our current status is. And so for us to bring you some of these updates, I am very pleased to welcome to the stage, to join me for this discussion, a panel of our expert colleagues. Immediately is to my left is Mr. Damien Dolland. He's the principal at Darasami. Damien has been working with the Project Polaris team for a couple of years, more than a couple of years now. He's the strategic advisor and implementation consultant to the Project Polaris team. He's done a tremendous job. Special thank you to our moderator, and then I'll come back to you. Beside the honorable moderator is Mr. Jonathan Wetzel. He is the executive director at Mount Sinai International. And as you know, Mount Sinai is a strategic healthcare system partner, and this is a long-term relationship that also has already been going on for a couple of years now. And then at the end of the table is Ms. Pat Bush. She is the design director and principal at Perkins & Will, who are the lead architectural firm and master site planner for Project Polaris. So welcome to our team. And I will allow us to start with a quick overview video.
It's a nation's journey when small steps are no longer enough, when moving forward requires bold action. Grenada has faced moments like these before. When our economy was largely dependent on agriculture, we established St. George's University, opening the country to a global knowledge economy. When our ability to connect to the world was limited, we built the Maurice Bishop International Airport, unlocking tourism, trade, and international access. And when there was no single space to bring the nation together at scale, we built the National Stadium. Each decision responded to a real constraint. Each one expanded what was possible. Each one moved Grenada forward. Today, we stand at another defining moment. Healthcare. The need for a system that is modern, accessible, and reliable. Care that people can depend on here at home. That step is now being taken. Through Project Polaris, a transformative national investment in the health and future of our people. Set across 84 acres between St. George and St. Dickon, Project Polaris is a fully integrated medical city, bringing together care, learning, living, and well-being within one connected system, organized into 4 districts: healthcare, mixed use, housing, and community, and anchored by a central park with the new teaching hospital at its core. At its center stands a 250-bed climate-smart teaching hospital, developed in collaboration with Mount Sinai. Designed to global standards, this facility brings advanced care closer to home, specialized services for women and children, modern oncology and cardiology care, advanced diagnostics and surgical capability. Every element is designed to support healing, comfort, and dignity. The medical city is designed to operate seamlessly with integrated services, efficient movement, and resilient systems to ensure continuity of care. Beyond the hospital, the mixed-use district supports a growing ecosystem with housing, commercial activity, and shared public spaces, strengthening healthcare, expanding opportunity, building national capacity, so that care is closer, so that families feel more secure, so that no one has to look beyond all shores for the care they need. This is how a country stands for its people. This is how a future is built. Project Polaris.
Wonderful. So you've got a sense of what it is and where we're going. Those are real renderings of what it is that we're going to be building in Grenada. So I'm going to now turn over and ask some questions of our panelists to help fill in some of the blanks. We've heard a lot today from the Prime Minister to help us understand that we certainly are not just building an infrastructure for the future and forgetting about our challenges today. So we know there's a lot going on as we move towards completion of the building. So Jonathan, I'm turning to you now to please give us a little bit of an overview of some of the work that Mount Sinai has been doing with us as we are in this transition towards better healthcare.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andrea. And thank you so much, everybody, for coming out, showing up and showing out today in Brooklyn. Really appreciate it. Since the inception of Project Polaris and before we even became part of this partnership between Mount Sinai and Grenada, Grenada was thinking about its people first, and really the importance, as the Prime Minister, Ambassador St. Bernard, and others said, the importance of focusing on healthcare today and addressing the core issues that exist, and looking forward towards Project Polaris, how Grenada can transform its healthcare system. So as such, Mount Sinai has been working in close partnership with our colleagues at the General Hospital in areas of quality and safety, operations, cultural transformation, leadership, and we have teams there multiple times a month working hand in hand with our colleagues at the General Hospital, and we're seeing market improvements today. Hand hygiene was mentioned by the Prime Minister. We're working hard together to make improvements in areas as granular as that, to supply chain and procurement. So I'm happy to give more examples, but suffice to say, we're getting into the weeds, and we're helping our partners in Grenada advance the healthcare system. And let me tell you, the team there on the ground is amazing. They're some of our best partners around the globe. So it's truly a pleasure to engage in this work every day.
Thank you, Jonathan. Pat, I'll turn to you now. Perkins & Will is a leading global architecture firm. Why did you want to be a part of Project Polaris? Now, Perkins & Will have done projects all over the world. They've done hospital projects all over the world. They are quite well experienced, and I'm sure you have no shortage of business opportunities. So again, I ask you, Pat, why did you want to be a part of Project Polaris, and what differentiated approach are you bringing to the project in your role as the lead architect and master site planner? Well, first of all, thank you for welcoming us. This is quite moving. Actually, representing my firm, I will tell you that, like Professor San Bernard said, we do work around the world, best systems. Part of this is about having the passion to be transformative. This is an opportunity we are being given to make sure that we can give back and we can be of relevance. For us, in a global footprint that we have, these kind of projects are the ones that give us meaning, are the ones that are a human imperative. We believe that, like we were in the groundbreaking, and the Prime Minister said something very moving, which was that this land where we are imagining this city of health has a beautiful story to it, and it has been safeguarded. And so we want to make sure that we give you back, in partnership with Mount Sinai, great partners, something that is for your future generation, something that will be of relevance for a long, long time. And that allows us to understand the future of healthcare, which is human-centric, which is about resiliency, which is about future ready and in relationship with the environment. So this is a civic responsibility from our firm, and this is the kind of project that we're committed to do. So drawing on some of your expertise now, we have continued to describe Project Polaris New Hospital as a smart hospital. And I'm going to ask both Jonathan and Pat to give us a few examples and words around what do we mean when we say we're building a smart hospital?
Absolutely. So from a healthcare delivery perspective, smart hospital can mean a number of things. I'll just lay out a few examples. So as the PM mentioned, there's a data issue today in Grenada, and it's imperative to have real, sound, and trusted data in order to move the needle on healthcare quality and safety, outcomes, and of course, day-to-day clinical care. So, smart hospital includes the use of electronic medical records, other diagnostic tools that are visual, and leveraging technology to enhance and support the provider team, the care team, and to make for a great patient experience. So it's not only the clinical team, but it's also at the core of this, our patients, our families, etc. So many of you may have access to patient portals, other means of accessing your electronic health records, scheduling appointments, and so forth. Today, the vision of this smart hospital is to have those tools available for patients and their loved ones or others who
And Pat, how are we designing for that? Well, as an architect, we could be here for 2 days talking about. I think what is important is that we have to start thinking about what is the next generation of buildings and building with responsibility. So for a smart building in terms of healthcare is about, we mentioned the word resiliency. There are 2 ways of understanding resiliency. One is a building that is allowing us to design for extreme events, whether it's flood or wind pressures, drought. So this is sort of a permanent. Also about building systems that are about conserving water and energy, and that are also talking about wellness, not just for patients, but for staff and for families. Most important, I think the resiliency of human care, the resiliency of saving lives, and that aspect, we always talk about.
You listen to Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media right here in New York City. We are at a town hall meeting with Prime Minister and his cabinet administration here at Mega Evans in New York City. It's a park house, not even seats available. So we are here as part of the media. Just bringing it to you right here. Godfrey Johnson, Broadcasting Media Incorporated.
Thank you. So I want us now move a little bit into how are we going to make this happen, so implementation. And I'm going to ask Mr. Damien Dolan, give us an update on how are we financing this project?
Is improving closer? Yes. Thank you all. Firstly, as a Canadian, this project means lots to me personally. Also, with that part. And as a member of the diaspora who have parents who want to go back to time Grenada, I know that if I don't get this right, I might be able to in all seriousness, financing is one of the most critical elements here. This needs to be sustainable. This is not just about raising enough money to build a building. It's about to be able to allow for the operational success over many years to come, to be able to deliver care for many generations of Grenadians. And so in order to do that, we work with the Ministry of Finance, we work with the Clarence teams and our partners around the world to get the cheapest financing available for this project. So for example, we are getting concessional debt from various parties. And we are in a high interest rate environment here in the US and globally, but we have been able to secure debt for the first $185 million at interest rates of less than 1.5%. That is actually globally we're talking about 22, 24, 27-year debt that we're able to get at these very, very low interest rates. We also realize that that is just one part. We are working with the private sector. We're also working with international partners who want to aid in the development of Grenada and who love this project because of what it stands for, because of its impact, and because of not only for Grenada but for the broader region, for the OECS. So we have individuals who are willing to partner with us on a PPP basis, so public-private partnership basis, to invest their capital as part of the broader campus under Project Polaris. We are also working in other areas of financing in terms of how we get equipment, how we also look for grant funding, how we also expand to other partners, right? So we're leaving no stone unturned because we do not have that option, especially as until next PM. And that is what we need to do, is to make sure we deliver the cheapest, most sustainable financing possible for the country. Thank you.
We did run a quick analysis on that debt that Mr. Dolan has mentioned, 185 below 1.5, and we can confirm it is the best financing, the cheapest, longest tenure, most responsible financing that Grenada has raised over the past 30 years was our analysis, I do believe. It's a large amount, but actually it is a significant success of finance raised to have done the rates, the tenure. So we're quite happy with that. And so, Mr. Dolan, back over to you. Can you tell us how are we to be confident that we're going to deliver? We've got the money now, we've got some construction plans. What strategies are we using to ensure we deliver what we have planned?
Besides my family's pressure, we have sustainability perspective. First of all, we have to look to the government. The government has put its money where its mouth is. The government has set aside equity of $25 billion, and that in addition to about $25 billion that they've already invested into land and other parts of making this project possible. So that is $50 billion. Why that's important, and it gives our international financing partners comfort that the government is serious about getting this done. So what we have done is we turn the tables. So historically, we ask for handouts. We're not asking for handouts. We're asking for partners, people who go on this journey with us, and alongside of us, and that has been working very well. Secondly, as we mentioned, we secured financing to make sure that we are able to move forward with confidence. We've also engaged with international partners. A lot of times when projects fail is because we do not have the expertise in-house or locally to be able to manage those projects. So exactly, you see next to us, we have Mount Sinai, and that was one of our first strategic points we were in with the Ministry of Health, making sure that we have the right partners sitting beside us to not only design the hospital and give us impetus to what needs to be provided in the hospital, but to also help us in terms of getting our current staff trained and ready. So you don't need to put old wine into new wineskins, right? New wine. We're not going to open into the new hospital. We're actually upskilling these staff so when they come to the new building, they will have a new mindset, new skill set, and new ways to actually deliver what we need. So we operationalize what it means for success. We've also brought in capacity. So again, capacity is designed to purpose and well, they work all over the globe. And they're going to be helping us not only develop pretty buildings, but sustainable buildings. So we all know stories where people build buildings in Grenada, they need a triple finish, when they're up, they need help very quickly, right? And that's actually good. You know, but long story short, we are working with the design side, in addition to that, we've brought on help on the construction side to make sure we are getting what we need. People to oversee, this is a complex building, this is a building that hasn't really been built in the Caribbean area. This is a new smart hospital. So we're so if you have expertise in these areas, and you're sitting in the audience or online, we are looking for your assistance, and that's where you can be part of the diaspora group that the PM is referring to. So again, this is taking this is an all hands on deck approach. And again, we are partnering with the best and the brightest in the world. Again, it's
So we know we're building a beautiful building. We know that we're improving healthcare. We can confidently say that we're doing this for the people of Grenada, Caribou, and Petit Martinique. And so I want to open it up to the panel to give us a few words about what do you think will be the benefits to the people of Grenada? Pat, you want to?
Absolutely. Well, and we see it time and time again, this is a catalyst for job creation and education. You're going to have facilities that will help the skill development, like we've been talking about. But it's about educating community, it's about training, it's about research. This kind of facility will also be a moment where we can help teach our next generation, the young people in Grenada, what it is to actually commit, to really have a health city, to talk about the next generation, next future of leaders in Grenada. Anything?
So to me, it's quite straightforward. Right? This is a complicated project. The end goals are pretty simple. One, greater access for all Grenadians, right? As the Prime Minister said, Grenadians in Grenada, Grenadians outside of Grenada. Yeah. What does greater access mean? No, it's not greater access to only existing healthcare services. There'll be greater specialization in healthcare, cardiovascular care, oncological care, neurosurgical care, and so forth. So it's taking it to the next step to deliver true tertiary level services in Grenada. Two, what does that mean for the population that's living in Grenada today? It's going to make access or the ability to get that care easier and to not have a complicated means of having to arrange for care outside of Grenada and so forth. From a cost standpoint, cost containment is absolutely important too. And frankly speaking, Grenada now has the opportunity to truly be a beacon of healthcare and hope for the Eastern Caribbean.
David, want to give us a few words about benefits to the ordinary Grenadian?
thanks. I'm just that actually Right now,
Can I hear you?
in Grenada, when we look at the landscape, we are dying most rapidly from cancer and cardiovascular disease. Two things which cannot be treated under our current system. So why do we need advanced smart hospital? We need to basically have a cath lab. So if you have a heart attack when you're in Grenada or when you're in vacation on Grenada, you know a simple procedure can save your life. If you have cancer is not always survivable. If you're rich and you can afford to travel overseas, you can get treated at home. So this is dignity of care from a healthcare perspective to local Grenadians so that they too can feel safe and realize that healthcare is a right, not a privilege, which it currently is. The people that are going into a focus on money and finance. Right now, when you look at SG contributes about 20% of the GDP of Grenada, right? It has been transformative to our economy. When we look at healthcare with SG as our partner, we have the ability to actually make healthcare an area of economic growth and development for Grenada. And when we look at it right now, we all have beaches. I know we may be biased and say Granite is the best beach in the world. But a lot of people have beaches. A lot of countries have beaches. What is our strategic advantage? And our strategic advantage is to leverage some of the investment that have been made by our forefathers in terms of preparing SGU, in terms of our doctors in the diaspora, in terms of the 24,000 SGU medical doctors who have graduated. Many of them are Grenadian, right? How do we actually leverage this? And that is our strategic advantage to be able to do this so that our healthcare sector could be the next 20% plus contributor to GDP.
I do want to leave some time for questions from the crowd, but to conclude with the panel, let me ask for your thoughts on what does success look like for Project Polaris 10 years from now? Jonathan.
Success is not only that this hospital exists and the Project Polaris campus exists, which it will, but success means that you, as the diaspora community, feel comfortable enough coming back to Grenada and living in Grenada and accessing.
Your thoughts?
I think from our perspective is that Grenada and Grenadians will be leading by example globally. Like Dickon was saying, this is unique to the world. This city of health, this community of healing is going to be an example globally, and thus why the attention we're all paying to it. And also to make sure that we utilize this as an example to continue to grow the nation with what means to grow, like you were saying, in education, healthcare, things that will benefit society at large.
Maybe I'll give you the last opportunity on that point. What does success look like for Project Polaris 10 years from now?
To create a healthy infrastructure that will make all Grenadians, locally and in the diaspora, proud that they are Grenadians and proud that they are leaving a legacy not only for themselves, but for future Grenadians to be able to live healthy, long lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will conclude our panel discussion at this point to offer you the opportunity to ask any questions that you have about healthcare transformation, as the Prime Minister spoke about Project Polaris, and the panel, and myself, and the Prime Minister will remain available. There are 2 mics, so please feel free to line up behind both, and we will make our way through.
Thank you very much. I see the lines lining fast and furious. So it's 6:24 by my watch. We will end the questions at 7:20, which gives us 10 minutes to wrap up and declare the room so that we comply with the powers that be. So that means, given the length of the lines, we are going to ask you to keep the questions short, direct, or your comments short and direct. All right, so our guests, Wilkins and Will, and from Sinai, or just Wilkins and Will? Both. They do have to leave in 10 minutes. So I'll ask anyone who's standing, if you have a question specific to Wilkins and Will, if you can just, if you don't mind. Only Mount Sinai. So if you have a question specific to Mount Sinai, I'll ask if you can just let those persons who have that question jump in the queue so that we can take them as the first order of business and then we can go. So we will do right and left and then right and left. You have the floor. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and great job. This is wonderful. It's really great. Great job. It's awesome. It's really great to be here and actually experience this because growing up and seeing all this in the show. I find myself working in Diaspora within healthcare and providers. And I'm hearing a lot about the data aspect of it. But it somehow or the other sounds like the Polaris Project, even though I've heard that certain things as per data have already started to happen. It sounds like it's more or less going to be focused heavily towards the smart hospital, which in my mind doesn't make a lot of sense because where you pulling this data from, if our focus is just for the smart hospital, does that make sense? So I guess what I want to find out primarily is, I know that work, based on some of the things you said, Minister or moderator, some of the work has already started in terms of figuring out how that data, is being collated. But I guess my question is because I go from the perspective of when you have that EMR situation, it brings together not just inpatient or outpatient health, but all your community health. So from now, do you already have strategy in place so that when you get there, you're not starting over, if that makes sense? So that's my question.
You want to provide some feedback, and I can also provide some feedback.
We can address certainly at the core, right? There are a couple of fundamental things that have to be done in order to stand up an electronic medical record to ensure that it's stable from day one. One of those things begins with developing an electronic master patient index. So actually digitizing the current medical record numbers and that of existing patients in the system, creating standard operating procedures around that and capturing that as the first data point. That is going to create a basis to connect existing healthcare data in Virginia, and we're going to work with our government partners and be guided by the Prime Minister and those in the Ministry of Health in that process. So it's going to connect the existing data with the future data sets that will be created. And of course, this has to be done in a very careful and prudent way. I hope that helps.
I think just the context is also important to see that when we inherited, when we got into office, there was in fact at the primary, if I may put it, this health center, an electronic medical record system that actually was in place. The problem is it wasn't being used, right? And we sought to begin to address it. So in fact, to some extent, some of the data we now know about healthcare in Virginia is via that system. I think the idea initially was to start with the primary before we get to hospitals. So we do recognize that. I believe as well the current state of physical records at the hospital, and that we have begun the process of digitizing those as well, so that we have that data. So yes, I think we absolutely understand that both from a, in fact, I would even say less from a hospital level, but more from a private health care, just want to conduct, as well as the private sector. Because we also have to get to the point where all private dental records are also kept electronically, so that we have access to this. So we are quite clear on mind, and we need to make sure we can't wait till we get to the hospital. In fact, the national health insurance system that we want to develop is going to largely be driven by that data as well, because we obviously need to know, in a sense, what the significant risks are and the frequency of what it is you're trying to address. I'm not sure if anyone else wants to respond to that, or okay, let's start. Question.
Thank you. My name is Frankie Bishop from Leicester, Jericho. And that question on national health care is directed to Jonathan and Pat, who actually both collaborated at the same time. Bottom line, I do have what you call a Fed group health insurance here in New York. I want to be able that if I get sick and related, under the same terms and conditions, that's on sign that working in collaboration, the health aid all terms and conditions remain the same, but whereby I present my healthcare card to the hospital.
So it's actually much more government creative question than it is friends and consultants that government created. Because the bottom line is this is a government created hospital. And as the Prime Minister elaborated on, the obligation for the government to provide health services to its people continues. We are just looking for better systems to do so. So absolutely, your health insurance card will be welcome in the new hospital.
Well, I think it's important to say what's your healthcare system here allows it for you to go outside and obviously that's what the thing. Alright, so right, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Prime Minister and everyone here online. So I remember when we were here in 2022, I did stand up and I did ask for his healthcare on the agenda. I just wanted to publicly say thank you for making that a priority. With all the steps that you're taking right now, I truly believe in this project. And I'm looking forward to one day coming back to Grenada so you can work in healthcare. Really work I'm a realist, right? So you don't have to convince many of us here in the Diaspora about health insurance. We have health insurance, whether it's employee sponsored or whether it's like publicly sponsored. My concern is like, how are we convincing the people that they are now going to buy into health insurance in order to generate revenue to keep this hospital going? Because obviously we need money like to keep the hospital open, supplies, equipment, and more cost money. So we have to be realistic. And I just wanted to know like what's your approach to convince our own people, right?
So I think we have two examples. It's important for us to appreciate we had transformative change in what I would call important public social goods in the past. You know, in 1983, we introduced a national social security system called National Insurance Scheme. Prior to that, there was no such scheme. So that scheme has left us with unemployment benefits, pensions, all kinds of benefits, physical disability benefits if you get injured at the job, funeral grants if someone dies, you get a grant. So we've gone through the process of being able to create the kind of change that we've done. I'll give another more recent and perhaps more complex and maybe even politically sensitive one. We have been able to reform the pension system for public servants in Grenada by educating the public officers first and foremost on the importance of having a pension, so that is funded, sustainable, and operating in a commercially transparent manner. One may have thought, given the significant 40-year fighting pensions, that we were not going to be able to do it. So I believe that the goal of government, first and foremost, is to educate the population about what the challenges are, what the solutions are, and to make sure we bring people on the journey rather than sort of lead them behind. So I think there is enough examples. Private health insurance exists on the island. People understand what that means. we have employers, we have insurance companies. So we certainly believe we can get the stakeholders to come on board with us to demonstrate that it is important for us to fund healthcare. We probably spend about $150 million on healthcare outside of Grenada. Every time someone leaves, it's a ticket, hotel, hospital outside. So that, even if we were able to take half of that and keep it in the country, it will actually be phenomenal for the economy.
Thank you for being here. For what you are doing to improve Grenada. My question is, what we in this diaspora, as people, Grenadians, what can we do? How can we help?
We have a philanthropic donation aspect to this. For the record, the cabinet of ministers have pledged some of our salaries as part of the donations to support the hospital. We certainly think we need to lead by example, and we're happy to receive donations through Ministry of Finance and an account has already been set up. And we can share details of this. So there is a very specific philanthropic drive that we're trying to look at, also to help with finances. But I think the critical piece, two critical pieces. One, advocacy. Right? We talked about how we get Grenadians to lead the national health insurance. We talked about things like how do we get Grenadians to understand that electronic medical records will be in their interest, and to make sure people are not superstitious and they don't think it's a mark of beast, and you know. we need definitely education and advocacy. If you live in a place where this exists, you know it's going to happen, so it's critical for you to advocate, to educate the population. The third piece, and I think this is critical. I think the team has indicated to me we are potentially looking at, in the hospital alone, 1,300 jobs. Obviously, a significant portion of this will require the skill set, the experience, the drive, and the passion to be successful. And we are not going to get this fully. We need the diaspora, we need members of the diaspora who are willing to partake in this, actually get on board now. Because the recruitment process essentially starts now. If you want to relocate, you need to plan, right? And that is part and parcel of what I think we need to do. So when we say register on the public portal, we want you to specifically say what your experience, your expertise.
You're listening to Godfrey Johnson, Broadcasting Media Incorporated, LED Radio brand, and we're live at the Mega Evans College doing a town hall meeting with the Prime Minister of Grenada and the administration here. Different question and answers. Remember, www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. That's www.godfreyjohnsonco.com.
Both in terms of finance, but also in terms of willingness to make all skills, talent, and expertise to move to this. So I have to clear. We'll provide details on the bank account. That's part of the society's engagement with the persons can help fund. And you never know, there might be a diaspora bond if it's committed to allow persons to have passions.
Hi, I'm Dr. Denise from the Islands. I am from Grenada, from parish of St. I do have a non-profit organization here. It's called Eastern Circle Incorporated. We are made up of interdisciplinaries. Most of us are primary care providers, nurse practitioners, from the medical profession, also with volunteers. We plan to come to Grenada in 2027. Our mission is to educate the Brooklyn community on health promotion, disease prevention, and chronic disease management. We do initiative of programs and one-to-one education. So we would like to come to Grenada, and how do we align? And are we welcome? So we are primary care providers. We do know that the hospital is here some years to come, but you have to prepare the community. So we are willing to educate and to go to the different parishes and do that primary care Our goal is health promotion, disease prevention, and chronic disease management. So how best can I do this? Also, I've been trying to get on the Diaspora home. I don't know where I fit in. So I sent messages, I haven't heard back from them. So I'm here to give my services.
Thank you. Thank you. I will connect with you to make sure we have your contacts. I absolutely think there's a space for you within the Diaspora Advisory Council, and we are very much happy to have your support come home. So we'll connect and make sure that we can.
I'm inviting back Ambassador Thompson to the panel because I think this is what I mean critically about the registration process, getting your details so that we have you in the database, so that we can continue the reaching out that comes from that. And I mean, we have several missions that come to Greenland every year. Obviously, it's brought to the Ministry of Health, so we are happy to ensure that that link will be made both by the Diaspora desk and the Ministry of Health to make sure that there's a direct of that. I think it's usually a question of managing the logistics, managing the time, so that the scheduling works properly, both for you and for the team in Greenland. No, that's more than adequate notice. So thank you very much.
What are they doing for the nurses and the doctors? Now, we have to remember nursing is a team. So we have the auxiliary staff. So what kind of training are we doing and changing culture? Because if we have to understand that many times we as nurses, we only go for 12-hour shifts and we are only there for like 3 days and it's not 3 consecutive days. Whereas the auxiliary staff are there 5 days a week and they sometimes see the subtle changes in the patient report even because they spend more time. So what are we doing to change the culture and to let them know this is not a job, but this is you are part of a team. Whether you're the housekeeper, whether you are part of a team. And because once we do that, everything. So I want to know what are we to educate them and to make them understand.
Thank you. So we are working specifically on those types of points, and you raised a very good point, through the quality improvement initiative. So one of the new initiatives that has come through the quality improvement initiative that Mount Sinai has been guiding is the huddle system. And I'm sure you would be aware because it's something that's very common throughout hospital and healthcare systems, but it wasn't happening in Greenland. And so now we do have a regular daily huddle system, which includes doctors, nurses, all auxiliary staff. They must huddle and discuss patients on the floor, changes that have happened over the course of shift change. And so I think this team approach is very important and it's absolutely something that is being focused on as part of the cultural change to enhance quality of service.
Leslie, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Minister. I hope the New Yorkers are treating you well. From all those I can see that they're treating you well. Well, Ms. Anderson, that you talked about the expertise of Perkins and Willis. So I just wanted to ask something that had me really concerned, that in the receipt of the concept plan by the administration, which represents 15%, a little under 15% of the complete architectural plans that are required for construction, that you initiated groundbreaking. So I would like, I guess, respect and chime in on that. I would like to try to understand why would you initiate a groundbreaking, which actually signals the start of construction, when you have a full set of architectural plans at a concept phase. And also, I mean, some of us are familiar with numbers. So we know that this full architectural plan costs
Please, you can try to, is there anything to ask questions? Is there finish and you will respond to questions?
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. So, again, as I said, this is not only
So,
it's in the United States.
alright, let's continue to our questions and final
Okay,
questions.
again, to the panel. This, what I would like to consider that we noticed that $22 million was expended so far. Some of us are very familiar with the numbers on this project. So we know that a full architectural plan costs about $50 million, but you've expended $22 million thus far. So we're trying, we'd like you to explain what that $22 million was expended.
Thank you for the question. I'm going to take the first one, which is groundbreaking. Absolutely, we have a lot more work to do. We are still in the process of creating designs, but we also have a very aggressive timeline to work on. And so there are going to be several work streams that have to continue simultaneously. We have sufficient plans to allow us to begin doing early works. And in that regard, we are beginning and have already begun construction, the early works, the site prep, the utilities preparation, significant excavation. All of this work has to be done before we get to main. And all of this work is underway. And so we thought groundbreaking ceremony makes sense to make sure the transparency to the people of Grenada that work on the site has begun. As regards to the question of the money spent, we are building a large, sophisticated infrastructural plan. A lot of plans have to go into that. A lot of experts, consultants, partners have to come with us to be able to put together the necessary plans before we can put a shovel in the ground for implementation. Without sufficient plans to do so. And so we need a lot of time and resources already gone into what's necessary to put together the right plan to ensure that we have the right product for the community.
So, I also wanted to make a comment because I think this is important for us to understand. All of the spending really has perhaps one of the most transparent public finance accounting systems. And it's always good to get comments and questions. And I think my takeaway from this is, particularly for the team at the Ministry of Finance, we will in fact detail the spend, what the spend is about, where it's been spent, so that we understand how the funding is going and which aspects relate to direct construction related costs, which aspects relate to finance costs, etc. So we have a clear sense of how this spend is taking place. So that's a takeaway for me and the team at the Ministry of Finance and the Project Polaris team, so that we can address the specific finance questions that will be asked. The final point that I want to make about the groundbreaking. The groundbreaking ultimately is, and I want to say this importantly in a political context. One of the challenges I think as someone who's coming to office that I think the public has had with government is the question of trust. And a question oftentimes of, I'll use the Brazilian word, mamagism. We want to make sure Project Polaris is a national project that transcends government, that transcends the opposition, and has to be, from our perspective, and I said this in my presentation, there is no turning back on this project. Now, we do have taken the decision to have the groundbreaking a lot later in the year. But I know what that would lead to. It would lead to those naysayers taking this to political because we're closer to the elections, right? This is not a gimmick. I made that clear. We bought this land within the first year and a half of us getting into the government. We didn't borrow any money to it. We financed it ourselves in collaboration with the vendor of the land. The land was available to purchase almost 12 years before. So it's important to emphasize that while in the classic sense, it's also a small project, you probably break ground and you have all the equipment. This is a far more sophisticated project that has, as I said, national implications for ensuring that we can continue to get the support. And I'm going to emphasize this. When you're a small developing nation, that's the truth. People don't the country's ability to take on and deliver transformative projects. And we are organization to impact ensure that we make it clear to our partners that we are serious about this and that we are going to get it and that we will get it done. So this is also part of why, thank you guys, it's also part of why we have kept this unrelenting pace up because projects like this take 10 to 15 years. We are clear that we want to accomplish it in a much shorter time. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Senior Practice from yesterday, and I want to congratulate you and your members of parliament for the good work that you are doing. I remember hearing you sometimes saying that you need people for doing coding.
Yes.
Now, I thought of it, and I had a conversation with myself. A coding specialist, he has a bachelor. I'm standing here today to ask you to accommodate him. Some documents. Community, us, our ideas, our plans that we want to present to you. I hope that we can spend a few minutes with you after the session.
Diaspora Ambassador will take the documents and we will arrange for the conversation. Thank you. Next. Good evening.
This question. What category hurricane this hospital be able to withstand?
So it so happens that our firm has been deeply doing research about how to really lead by example on extreme events. I sit in a Miami studio, Perkins and Will, and we have been building actually what will probably be the most resilient building in the country, and it's for an energy company, and it survives Category 5s and beyond. And so we've been applying the design strategies and the research and the information for this hospital. So this will probably be a structure that survives Category 5 or more. This is about designing a smart way. You don't have to pay more. You don't have to make it more complicated. It's about the technology that we have available today in the building industry to analyze structures and design them at a certain height, with certain shapes, that become extremely resilient. So this is about smart design, not necessarily over designing.
Okay, so that's perfect. I love that answer. Jonathan is not here, so I'm gonna ask you. We have beautiful renderings. Buildings are lovely. The VMS system, are you involved in that?
We will be having those kind of conversations as the project progresses, right? Because infrastructure and systems, building systems, are part of the sustainability and resiliency of a project, right? And let's talk about resiliency also in terms of saving lives. So we're doing a hospital, so this is about sustaining business. So yes, we will have systems that allow for this water conservation, energy conservation. So these are systems that will help the building survive for and sustain business in case of an extreme event beyond 7, 10, 2 weeks, etc.
Okay, so in your designs, do you have, yes, do you have generators?
Yes.
All right, guys, BTS. Go, can you go closer to the mic?
It's a lovely idea. I'm all for it. You know me, I'm always ready to help, right? In terms of the labor impact for these systems, when everybody goes already, how do we support? Do we have the technical infrastructure in place to train people to keep the system running? That's what I need to hear from you. And if you could reach out to me and whoever needs to, so.
Sure. I think the simple answer to this is the point that we're going to talk about health economics and the conversation of occurrence and our scholarship policy and our education. Right? The idea here is to create a sector that guarantees all young people an opportunity for a career, which means from an education point of view, from a training point of view, we are in a position to say to them, this is where the jobs are, this is what you need to study, this is what the training is, rather than let's say
So President, I'm gonna change this.
Yeah, can you get closer to the mic? I'm not hearing you.
My name is Andrea Alexander, and I'm here to change the subject a bit. Some information came up earlier about returning to Grenada, and so I should have been back 10 years ago. I want to know what the problem is. I have my money to build my house, it's trying all around to do that, and we went to the housing. I did my plan, I made my changes, and when you call them, nothing. Right now, I have 2 plans that I did, and it's still waiting. It's something I wanted to address because it's not fair that people come to Grenada and build their houses and everything else. I'm standing on the line in the back one day, and the lady told me that if she didn't build this house yet, she would never go back to Grenada. It's not a good thing. I always want to come back to Grenada. So I'm just asking that somebody, the people, they say, was it a lawyer? I'm a lawyer. There is a particular lawyer that should not be practicing law with me. I'm not looking for favors. I have my money good. I just want to know what is on. I come to Grenada 3 times a year. I want to know,
So, sorry to interrupt, but I'm not clear. What issue is? Is the issue that you're not getting planning permission to build?
I don't know, because I go to the physical planning did apply for me 2 months ago. So I don't know what it is. I seem not to be getting anybody to answer the phone for me to move on.
All right, so I'm going to put the chairman on the spot. I'll ask him to have a conversation with you after, so that we can get a better understanding of what the issue is. Is the chairman of the planning authority here? In the interest of managing time, we will only take questions from the four persons who are standing, because we have to be out of here absolutely by 7:30, which means by 7:50 we need to wrap up to declare the building. So to my left.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Mr. Prime Minister, you probably remember me from your last town hall at the college, and my main concern was healthcare. So I just want to commend you guys on taking this step to make the healthcare system better. I have a few questions. And this is directed to the singular. Three quick questions. I'll give you 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to stand here for you and ask you to answer general. Number 1, is there a significance to the name of Project Polaris? Is there something historic in Grenada that you guys has named it Polaris? The second question is, are there any plans in place to upgrade the now General Hospital once the Polaris project is completed? Will that facility still remain in working condition in St. George's areas so as to facilitate people, second. Thank you. Those are my questions. If you want me to repeat it.
Happy to repeat the story behind the naming Project Polaris. So essentially, Project Polaris is another name, Polaris is another name for the North Star. We named our project Project Polaris because we understand we're building a building for healthcare transformation, but a building alone will not get us there. So the building and the timeline that we're on for opening of a new institution has become our guiding goal to pull together all the other work streams that the Prime Minister has been speaking of that are necessary for healthcare transformation. So we use this timeline for the transition towards, and as we're building, as our North Star, Project Polaris, will bring us to healthcare transformation. As regards to the second question, the existing general hospital, so this is just to be very clear, again, as a matter of fundamental principle, the new hospital is replacing the existing hospital. So, essentially, there will be a moving day when we move patients and staff and any equipment that's worthy from where it is at the existing hospital over to the new hospital. We've also seen that there's significant work and resources going into upgrading all of our primary healthcare facilities. So there's a comprehensive approach to upgrading our infrastructure. The old existing hospital will move on to a new chapter. In its most beautiful location, you can imagine several opportunities overlaid at that site once we transition to the new hospital.
Thank you. Next, please. Thank you. Could you stand a little closer to the mic?
If I may repeat, I say good evening to Mr. Prime Minister and his audience. Congratulations to you on the 5 years of your success. I'm not I've been visiting for the past 3 or 4 years. And I'm looking forward to education. In any case, we'll get to it. My question and directed to on-site. In your project, do you have support system accommodated that project.
Thank you, Coach. The question has been asked, the representative of Cookies and we will answer.
Actually, so I'm gonna ask Amy to answer. Mount Sinai has a party, but they are really about clinical services more so than infrastructure. The utilities, the planning, etc., are still led primarily by Dr. Dickon. I'll let Mr. Dolan address your specific question about sewage, but absolutely planning is going into all of the necessary.
Hold on, let's get a response. Go ahead. Amen, if you process the mic.
Long story short, yes, as part of this whole city, we are looking at three areas, obviously water, energy, and waste management. There's a complex waste management strategy, and in terms of how we actually make sure that we deal with waste, in terms of biological waste, but there's going to be other hospital-generated waste. So that is we're working with solid waste, NYC, and the hospital staff as well as other experts.
I want to just also add something that's important because sometimes there's a lot of focus on the hospital. We have other hospitals in Grenada right now. So, for example, in Marigo, we are working with the Caribbean Development Bank, which is finance project for us, where we are working on turning all of the wastewater from the hospital into usable water for farms. This is actually taking place right now, and we are expecting that by June, July, we should be commissioning that system. Now, this is huge. If it works, then we already have a pilot that could influence what happens at the Project Polaris site. So yes, sewage wastewater is an absolute critical part, and we already have steps on the way in terms of what are the potential environmentally friendly recycling options that are available for us on this. So we have the final two questions. Please go ahead.
Greetings, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to see you. I've had this question for a very long time. My name is Gloria Modest. I currently work within the public health sector as a health educator. And education, as we all know, plays an integral role in the well-being of our community and so forth. I am very passionate about women's health, more so on the issues that affect women, such as uterine fibroids, endometriosis, and PCOS, which is now known as of May as PMOS. My question to you is, for you and your team, is there any emphasis that is currently being placed now in Grenada to assist women and educate them on what the signs and the symptoms are of those reproductive health concerns, and what does that look like currently?
All right, well, that's a pretty critical question. I'm not a clinician, so I hesitate to give an inaccurate response. I'm not sure if the team wants to comment on this in a general sense. It will probably require the Chief Medical Officer, Director of Medical Services, who are not here to give us, in a sense, a very clinical response. But
I think that's right. This is something that would be appropriate for the Ministry of Health to respond on. What we can say from a Project Polaris perspective and from a design perspective is that we certainly place a lot of focus on women's health, but also childcare health. And so our vision, our plans include wing. Mr. Dolan is calling it a hospital within a hospital, so that there's going to be a hospital that cares specifically to women and their children. A wing that is just for that. And so we do anticipate that will leverage the opportunity for better education, better understanding, better specific healthcare for women and children.
Thank you so much.
all right, next question.
Good evening. I had a question, but it was already answered. But I'm standing here talking to people to acknowledge my Prime Minister and to tell you what we're doing on. I know there are a lot of naysayers around. Grenada deserves the best.
Alright, so the final question, and I'll ask Ms. Carol and try to stand by. Ms. Anwar. So final question, please. Thank you.
Good evening, Minister Mitchell, and our lovely panelists and congregation here. My name is Camille John. I am the Miss Grenada USA 2017 second runner-up.
Congratulations.
I am also the well-known soca artist here in the New York community, representing Grenada Caribbean Martin internationally. Many of you would have become familiar with me as the wife of Damian Clouden, the gentleman who had fell off of the roof in character back in 2024. We have a survivor here with us today. Damian, if you want to stand up so that they can see you. I'm getting emotional because I just want to thank everyone for helping me to save his life. As you guys have all known the story already, and you guys helped me raise $110,000. And Minister Mitchell would also given a donation towards him and help save his life as well. So my question now, right? Being a music artist, I'm American born, by the way, and here in the United States of America, we have this big multi-billion dollar entertainment industry that we know pumps a lot of revenue into many other things in the country, right? Prior to us going down to Grenada to help after Hurricane Beryl, I actually launched my own independent record label, which I am the CEO and founder of, to invest into the artists of Grenada. So what I would like to know is there anything in motion to invest into the entertainment industry in order to use that revenue to then pump millions or billions into the healthcare system? Because that was what my initiative was when I started that record label way before we even had this healthcare, incident. So I already have that record label, and I'm already working with artists in Grenada. And I just want to add, right? Oftentimes, people have no problem spending money on entertainment and have a problem still spending money on medication. And so I know that when there's a Fed happening, when job happening, all kinds of happening, everybody's ready to spend their money, right? But when it comes to paying for your medication or paying for health insurance, we find that a little bit hard to do, right? So my proposal is there something already in motion to invest into the entertainment industry, or would you be willing to partner with me to invest into the entertainment industry to then use those revenues to pump millions and millions back into the healthcare system so that we can have more success stories like my husband?
Thank you. Thank you very much for, I think the context and in a sense the miracle that is your husband's story, and I think for all of you who know the story and contributed towards making sure that he's here today and that they're here today as a family. I want to say thank you. I think it's a very good note to end on. And a short response to your question is yes, to both. We have, just as we treating healthcare when it comes to the creative and the creative economy, we've been very deliberate and strategic in terms of supporting all artists, not just in a sense musicians, painters, and anyone else who's into the creative sector. We've created the Greater Office of the Creative Affairs. We have, in fact, zero rated concessions on almost anything you need for creative, from paintbrush to canvas to musical instruments. There's extensive training going on in terms of intellectual property so that the success of Grenada's music is not by accident. We are funding a lot of the studios where the musicians can actually engage in voice training, where they have greater access to production equipment. I'm actually opening on Thursday in St. David Music School, where we got instruments, because in a sense, I think in the words of Marcus Darby, your culture
is the highest expression of your humanity. And so we absolutely understand the importance of the value in financial terms of the creative sector. And if we have persons who are successful in that sector, how then to be a catalyst for investment in other areas like healthcare. So yes, about your questions. I think there's an opportunity for us to speak with you and the greater Office of Creative Affairs to see how we can partner. And therefore, that's it for me. I really invite Sharon and Dwayne, whose job is to say thank you for the invite. So clearly on behalf of myself, on behalf of all of the panelists, Ambassador Jackson, or Funds in general, everyone who's helped to make this evening's tomorrow a resounding success. I certainly want to thank you. Everyone who was the last 20 years in New York, that's so thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Okay, good evening to everyone, and good evening especially to our Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell. Good evening to the persons at the head table, the panelists, and everybody who participated from that level. Good evening to you, the audience, once again. It's my job to move straight to say thank you to every one of you who came out this evening. I was out front at the table, and I was so pleased with the people as they came, as you came in, and so we are so happy that you were able to come. I would like to thank Ms. Kanisha Douglas for prayer this evening, or the person, Ms. Cheryl Vincent, who did our national anthem. I'd like to thank the Consul General who was here earlier, still here, and also, Consul General, thank you for coming by and for helping us to clarify how we should use our passports. That's part I heard. And also I'd like to thank Ambassador Jackson. This is the second time I'm meeting you in a few days. Thank you very much for coming and giving your remarks. Also, I'd like to thank Ambassador Forrester. Mr. Forrester, thank you very much for updating us. Now I think I want to come home for Diaspora homecoming. I think I want to do that. And I'd also like to thank Ms. Andrea St. particular sponsor. Thank you to the team, the panel, all the members of the panel, the alongside the people in the building. Thank you very much. Everyone who participated, the chairman, Ox, and all the people, sorry, put things a bit. The people who did the decoration, thank you, the people who chaired and coordinated, and everything that you did to make this day a success. Thank you all very much. Have a good evening and go safely, and see you at our next town hall, wherever that is going. God bless those of you who are traveling back to Grenada. Thank you for coming, and safe travel as we return to Grenada. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's such a. I need to go down here and see you. Who? Let's see. The outside, the outside. Well, you are right before me. Yes, no, I gotta go tell them.
I thought the exit was this way.
So I want to say thank you again one more time. This is Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated. It's another video for you here at Mega Evans College, right here on Bedford Avenue. We just listened to the Prime Minister of Grenada, a big project to do with the healthcare in Grenada. So stay tuned. Don't forget to visit the website www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. That's www.godfreyjohnsonco.com for more information concerning this live broadcast that we just brought to you here. All right, that's www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media. It's Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media. 929-340-1659. That's 929-340-1659. I want to get in touch with me. Send me an email, godfrey@godfreyjohnsonco.com. That's godfrey@godfreyjohnsonco.com. Or you can reach me at my personal email, which is lddradio@aol.com. That's lddradio@aol.com. One more time, lddradio@aol.com. All right, thank you again so much for spending your time with us right here. Don't forget again, log on, subscribe. We got a lot coming for you this summer. Look out for Grenada Day coming up, St. Vincent Day, Barbados Day. Don't forget again, we're going to be all over the game with Haiti and Brazil. All right, so stay tuned for all of that coming up, the game with Haiti. We want you to be a part of that. Stay tuned to our website and also to our YouTube channel. We will be in Pennsylvania for the game. All right, so stay tuned for a lot that is coming up right here. Thank you again so much for spending your time with us. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated, LD, the radio brand, future of broadcasting. Don't forget to send me an email, ldtheradio@aol.com, or you can reach me at godfrey@godfreyco.com. That's godfrey@godfreyco.com. www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. That's www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. Good afternoon to you. It's a Sunday evening here in New York City. It's another event for you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you can. Most of the people who view us do not subscribe, so if you get a chance, just subscribe to our channel a little bit. As I said, we have a lot coming for you for 2026. Our next event going to be the World Cup again, Haiti versus Brazil. We're going to be all over that game, so we want you to subscribe ahead of time. We'll also be doing a soccer watch. So for people out there who viewing this and you want to know more information, you can reach me at 929-000-1659. That's 929-000-1659. That's 929-000-1659. Mm-hmm. For the best in news, sports, weather, anything that happened anywhere in the world, if you can come, we bring it to you right here. God features the broadcasting media incorporated LED radio brand live here with you. Yes, I'm with the MC director. This video going to be a little long, so please bear with us. It'll be a little long. Normally I don't do long videos. Sometimes people don't want to look at the hour video, but I'm going to extend this video so you can maybe take a look at every part of it. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated LED Radio brand, and we're here with you during a special event right here in New York City and around the world. I want to thank you for spending your time with us as always. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you can. Please, I'm sure you appreciate it. And subscribe to us. www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. That's www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. So we just exit the hall. Remember to check us out. Remember, we're also online, www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. That's www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. That's www.godfreyjohnsonco.com. How you doing?
I know the media guy is not here.
So you doing? So we're gonna exit right about now. You know, how you doing, my friend? You enjoyed the event? You enjoyed the event? Say good afternoon. Say good afternoon.
I don't want to say good afternoon.
Just say anything you want to say. This is my old long-time friend, Sherry.
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 Sherry from 3502 Church Avenue. JTS Luxury Home, the best furniture in Brooklyn. Have a good evening, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it. So this is how we do it. We're gonna be out of here. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. I know I saw this guy over there. I know I saw somebody looking like the big man. I what you say? Beard, right above my beard. Extreme, right above my beard.
You growing beard, what's going on? You want to look young, you want to look 16 years old?
That's all your wife, but I wasn't. He's a good man.
Wait, good man when he's sleeping like
Pick up to you right here in New York City and live around the world. We're going to do a little bit of what it is for the best of sports, news, anything that you want to have. We have it for you right here in New York City. This is how we do it. Good afternoon to you here in New York. All right, so don't forget to reach out to us in any way, shape, or form. All right.
Sorry.
Remember 929-340-1659. That's 929-340-1659 for the best in news, sports, weather, and anything that happened anywhere in the world. We want to say thank you again so much for spending your time with us. To exit right about now. Don't forget 929-340-1659. That's 929-340-1659. We now normally don't do such a long video, but we're going to do it a little long today. Push it on a little bit, you know.
You like it? God bless my child. Because you're for the other party, that's why you're doing it. Yeah. But the answer is yes. You have to go all over there.
So we are cutting Coral Street in Bedford. We gotta make a left as we get out of here. Thank you so much. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated LD radio brand here in New York City and live around the world. Remember, this video is going to be a little long, so please bear with us a little bit. We want to watch all of it so you can really get the full view of what went down here. Dean had just finished a town hall meeting to discuss building changing the healthcare system in Grenada. Put on a big project to be built, and to get a Canadian diaspora who live here in North America and Brooklyn an update on what it's all about. All right, so if you want to get more information, you will have to look at the whole video on the website. Remember, Godfrey Johnson Media Company. It's Godfrey Johnson Media Company. So we do it with you in mind. Good afternoon to you here in New York City and live around the world. With the best in news, sports, weather, and anything that happened anywhere in the world, we broadcast it to you live right here with you in mind on a beautiful Sunday evening here in New York City. It's part of the Mega Evans facilities here in Bedford Avenue. It's a beautiful Sunday evening here in New York. God features media on YouTube. Forget to subscribe if you can. Truly appreciate it. It's a beautiful evening here. It's not something we just hang out with friends and family. Right here in Diaspora, Brooklyn. Thank you again so much for spending your time with us. I'm going to end this video in a few minutes. I'm just walking to my car a little bit before I get out of here. I want to say thank you again so much. Please subscribe to the channel so when we post anything, you'll get it right away. Alright, so we're going to end this video here, right in the corner of Corral Street. And right over here. And stay tuned for the next video coming up. Thank you again so much. Good night.